welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Nika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today I just wanted to do a quick video because I had this thought that came to me last night, and it was about climbing the ladder. And at first I was like, God, what does this mean, like climbing the ladder? And then he just started showing me things that made it make sense. See, I pray and I meditate and I make all these vision boards and, things like that, things to keep myself motivated. I'm constantly affirming myself, saying, one day this is going to happen, being grateful for it right now. But I never really stop and think about what that's going to cause for me to do. I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to get out of my comfort zone. I've already done that. Yes, I had to face some fears, but what I was being shown, or the way that it was interpreted to me, was it's larger than just let me get over this hurdle right now. It's deeper than that. See, when you're on the ladder, in order to get successful, to get up off the ground, you have to climb. So if you're anything like me, then heights scare you. And so, when you're on this journey to climbing towards your success, getting towards those goals that you want to reach, and trying to reach your highest potential in life, you have to climb this ladder. And what happens is, a lot of times when we look up at the ladder, it don't look so bad as far as we can see. But then when you're trying to reach those goals, and you're trying to reach the next stage of your life, or go into the next chapter of your life, there's darkness. And that's what God was showing me. He was like, yeah, you have the strength to do it, but I tend to do what I think many of us do, which is we'll climb a little bit and we want to see, can we see just a little bit of what's coming next? And then we try to backslide, we try to climb back down. But see, when you pray to God or your higher power, they're not playing with you. If you're saying it's something that you want, you set your mind to it, it was a calling on you, and God knows that that's the gift that is for you, He's not going to play with you. So what He's going to do, He's going to get you on this ladder. You're going to take the first couple steps. You're going to, okay, this is not so bad because you're barely off the ground. But with each step, you're doing something. You're either having to, change your mind and change your behavior, change the way you dress, change the way you talk. It's the simple things. It starts with you first, where you have to change your mind about whatever it is that you're trying to get to. So whatever that goal is, anything, it's going to require you to change your mind first. So that's the first step. And then the second step, maybe still working on that. And then the third step is still working on it a little bit harder. Then the fourth step is trying to work on healing. And, it's just, going up the ladder. As you go up the ladder, yes, you're getting closer to your goals, but you're also working on yourself. You're becoming a better person to get to that goal. So, what he was showing me was that, a lot of times we get up on the ladder and we're getting up there, we're starting to climb, we're getting tired, and we're like, oh, I don't even know if this is worth it anymore. Like, you can't see the top of the ladder because it's so tall and so big, because there's so many steps you have to take to reach the goal that you're trying to reach. So it's just like, being in school. You start school and you may have to go to school for 4 years before you get to your master's degree, or, whatever you're looking for. I mean, a lot of us want to at least go to do the master's or bachelor's, whatever. You have to wait a certain amount of years before you can get that degree. You don't just start school and then next month you got it. You have to do work. And so that's the same with God, and that's the same with the universe, and that's the same with, with life. We have to be willing to change ourselves, change the steps that we're taking, and be able to shed things off of us. And so back to the vision that I've seen, as God was showing me, like, as you're climbing, what's happening is you try to step back, but that step ain't there no more, baby. Because when it comes from God, when it comes from your higher power, when it comes from the universe, when it's for you, there's not going to be much room for you to back out of it. Because what's for you is for you. And so sometimes, I find myself, mentally going up this ladder, and it's like, no, I don't want to let go of those friends. I don't want to let go of this person. I don't want to let go of, my connection with my family, or or the things that I used to do that made me feel comfortable. But when you're climbing, you can't have too much in your bag. God allows you to step up on that ladder with everything on your back. But as you climb, you're gonna start to see that it's heavy, and everything can't go. You're gonna, okay, now you're at a point where it's getting too heavy. Your arms is getting like real weak, like spaghetti noodles. You trying to climb this ladder, and you gotta let something go. And so you shed something. You go into that bag. What is it that I can let go? And eventually, only the things that's meant for you, and you'll find a lot of times you start a whole new life. Almost your whole bag is empty by the time you reach the top. But he was just showing me, like, you can't be afraid to lighten the load, because climbing this ladder is work. It may look easy. You just looking at it, you're like, yeah, I can climb that. That's no problem. But you have to know that as you're climbing, you're going to get tired. So everything can't go with you. You can't be dragging everything on your back. In order to make the climb a little simpler, you're going to have to let go of some things, and you're going to have to be okay with that. You're going to have to trust that it's going to be okay, and that those things that you had to let go along the way is going to come back to you in better versions. And he also was showing me that, I tend to get so afraid of the unknown, which is, like I said, if you look up at the ladder, it just goes on forever. And then it's like, what's up there? Is it even promised? Is what I'm thinking, is what I pray for really up there? Is what I feel like I'm being promised really up there? And then you start to doubt, and that's where your faith comes in. That's where you have to keep that faith, and you have to keep climbing. And you can't try to backslide. You can't try to back down. I mean, you start to lose faith, then eventually those steps will come back. So you're climbing, and at first, when you still have that faith, you're trying to step down, and you realize there's no step there. You can't step down. There's nowhere to go but up. But when you mentally let go of that faith, when you stop having that dream, when you stop having that vision dies, and when you're like, I don't want to do this no more, eventually those steps are going to come back, and you're going to continue to step back down because you don't feel safe. I'm too high off the ground. I had to let go of too much as I climbed. I'm getting tired. I just want to go back and take a break. And then what happens? You're back on the ground, and you're looking up at this ladder that's for you. Your promise is at the top, but you made so many excuses to get back down to the ground. Now you're back on the ground, and you're not going anywhere. You're back to square one. And now when you're ready to reach that goal again, when you're ready to go towards it, that's what you have to do. You have to climb that ladder again, go through all of that again, starting over again like a video game. Like, you died, now it's time to, from point A again, start all over. It's like, man, I just made it through all those levels, and then boom, I got killed, or I lost, I don't know, my power box went out, something happened, and now the whole game reset. That's what's happening to your life. And we have to stop being so afraid to just keep our faith in our climb. Once we step onto that ladder, we have to make up our mind. Remember, I said the first thing to do is you have to change your mind. You have to be in a mind frame where you're willing and ready to do whatever it's going to take to reach the goals, or to work through what you have to work through in order to reach the goals that's promised to you. To reach that place where you bloom and blossom, to become a better version of yourself. You have to shed some things. And so I was like, wow, because I was, just talking to him, and that just came to my mind. I was like, that is something, that's a great point to make. Like, it's a great metaphor, because that's exactly what life is. I think a lot of us, we get afraid when we're coming off the ground. It's like we're climbing, and we're looking down, and we're seeing the things that we have to let go. We're seeing those friends still standing on the ground. We're seeing our spouses still standing on the ground. We're seeing, whatever it is, the career we wanted, we thought we were in love with. We're seeing, we're dropping money, and, which means you have to invest in yourself as you're going up this ladder. You have to be willing to give. You have to be willing to let go of things. We're seeing all the clothes we used to like. We're seeing all the makeup we used to like. We're seeing the words that we used to love to speak. We're seeing the drinks on the ground when we used to love to drink and party. We're seeing all that stuff. And we're like, I don't know, up here, I'm feeling kind of lonely. I'm getting up this ladder. I'm constantly throwing stuff out of my bag. I'm feeling empty. And you're telling me to go up this ladder And I feel like I've been climbing forever and I'm still not there. I'm still climbing. I'm still trying to find what it is. Like, when am I going to get to the top? I'm getting tired. I'm losing faith. And, you know, sometimes we just get to the point where we're like, oh, this is not even worth it. You know, I don't even want to do this anymore. You're just frustrated. You're like, I feel like I'm just not on the right path. And so you start backpedaling so you can get back to what you used to have. And eventually you'll get back down that ladder, get back to that stuff, and it may be fine for a while. You're back having fun. You're back living the life you were living before. But if it's your calling, if it's something meant for you, or if it's just in you to want greater, it's going to be hard to stay there. You're going to want to try again on the ladder. So why not, when you finally get enough strength and enough nerve to step on the ladder, why not just keep climbing it till you reach the top? Because I promise what's at the top is greater than what's on the ground. So keep climbing. Keep on climbing. The climb is going to get tough. It's not going to be easy. That's where your faith has to be in there. That's where your motivation has to be in there. That's where your drive has to be there. That's where your ambition has to be there. You have to continue to feed your mind things that's going to empower you to keep on climbing. If you need to take a break on that step. Breathe. Take a nap if you need to. But don't try to step back down. Don't let go of your faith and get those steps that you already made it through. You already climbed. Don't get those to come back so you can step back down to the ground. Because you're just holding yourself up from being able to get to what you need to get to, or being able to live the life that you would love to live. You have to work for it. You have to work for it. Nothing in life just you wake up one day and everything just falls in your lap that you've always wanted and you didn't have to do no work. That's everybody. Even people who don't they don't feel like they do work, but they be in, unhealthy relationships. They be in, situationships and all that before they finally find somebody who is even greater fit for them and who will marry them and give them the things that they want. They don't realize that was work. You got your heart broken over and over. You dealt with things you didn't have to deal with. You've been through a lot. It's still work. None of us know exactly how the work is going to come, but you have to do some type of work in order to get to the ultimate goal that's promised for you, the ultimate gift that's waiting for you. But that's just my spiel, and I hope I explained it well. It just was so strong on me last night. I probably should have did the video last night, but y'all was tired. The sister was tired. But I hope it makes sense, and I just hope I'm just encouraging you all to just continue to climb that ladder. And it's okay if you get tired. It's okay if you feel discouraged, but just don't lose faith. Don't lose hope, and don't lose vision. Don't lose sight of the vision that you're trying to make it to, and keep on climbing. I promise, because at the top, it's going to be so much better than what's on the ground. So, y'all let me know what you think in the comment box below. And, as usual, if you comment, I'm going to reply back to you. We'll keep the conversation going. And we will talk next time. Bye.